I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why she gets flaky. In other words, have you made dates with a woman who initially was keeping all the dates and now all of a sudden she's canceling dates for BS reasons, or she tells you she needs time apart, or some other kind of crap like that? Well, I've got an email here from a guy who's written in from a gal who initially was spending a lot of time together, and he thinks that they're totally that they love each other, but he's ignoring the fact that she's canceled many dates on him in the past. And that's what we guys tend to do. We tend to project our own high level of interest onto the woman that we like, and we ignore the fact that there's little to no mutual interest or reciprocation coming back from her side. And I think it boils down to the fact that masculine energy is all about purpose, drive, mission, succeeding in life. And since us guys tend to be egocentric, we like to ignore we tend to project our high interest level onto her, and we just assume she feels the same way, and we ignore all of the signs. Most guys, not only do they not know what to look for, but they're doing a lot of things that's turning their woman off. And so if you start out and say that gal's got 70 to 80% interest in you to start out with, you can screw up a lot more than a guy who's dating a girl that's only got 55 to 60% level of interest in him. He can do a few things wrong before she decides that he's out, versus the guy that, who's dating a gal at 70, 80% interest. There's a lot more screwing up that he can do before he gets rejected. And the biggest thing is that the biggest mistake that we make, and it's like I see this so much in the emails, and I used to do the same thing. And you see movies, television shows, they always show you just got to be persistent and you'll get the girl. And, when a guy sees something like that, and you've seen that meme since you were a little child, you start to believe that it's reality. Whereas in the real world, when you actually chase and pursue men, and you pursue women, and you do the things that they show in movies, well, when you try that crap in real life, it doesn't work. You end up getting rejected. It's like you can't go against reality, because women make it obvious when they like you. They have to contribute and participate to make dating happen, as opposed to you doing all of the work. And a lot of these guys, and I used to do myself, is we ignore the fact that she's not making any effort and she's just blowing us off, especially if she blows us off 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 different dates, and we just keep calling back and making new dates, and then yet she keeps canceling, but yet she tells us, oh, I love you and I miss you and I really want to see you. That's when you need to look at a woman's actions versus what she actually says, because the actions tell you everything. The words are a bunch of BS, because women are emotional beings, and they won't want to say something that they know is going to hurt your feelings, or that may create an awkward moment or cause some potential drama. So they'll give you some BS answer or reason why they break up with you or they break a date, in hopes that later on that you'll figure it out on your own that they really just had low interest in you. And so in this email he says, "Hey Corey, I have a little concern and want to ask for your advice. I met this girl back in 2010. We were really into each other. Our relationship lasted only 3 to 4 months, and trust me, we really loved each other. And it is still the case today. At least that's what he thinks. We broke up because she's an international student. She was saying that she might leave the country to Canada soon, and she didn't want to get any deeper into those overwhelming feelings." Well, the way that's phrased here, that tells me that I know you think she's in love with you, but the bottom line, think about this. She's in love with you, and she really likes you, and she really wants you, and things are going so great that she has to break up with you because she's going to obviously leave the country and go to school somewhere else. I think that's BS, and I think that's just the reason or the excuse that she used to break up with you. And you gotta read between the lines. You gotta look at her actions. So long story short, we finally separated, and guess what? She still lives 2 hours away from me as of today. Big shock. Well, guess what that means? It means she was bullshitting you about leaving the country for education. That was just the excuse. It may have been a true statement when she said it, that she was considering going to school in Canada, and that was the reason. But the real reason was that you lowered her level of interest, and you didn't realize that you were doing it at the time, and that's why you got rejected. He says here, after our breakup, we kept in touch, Facebook, email, texting, etc. I've tried to see her again several times, but at the last minute, she canceled our dates for obscure reasons. And the reason she canceled them is because she didn't want to see you. Women help you when they like you. And if they really want to see you and they place a high value on spending time with you, they're not going to do anything to get in the way of the date that they have set with you. And you're ignoring that fact. You're projecting your high interest level and just assuming she feels the same because she says it. Well, she may have said it, but she didn't show you through her actions that she actually meant it. He says, I know she's told me several times that she loves him. I also know, as you said in one of your articles in your book, why she canceled our dates at the last minute several times. Therefore, after realizing my mistakes, I stopped any more contact with her. Well, good for you. It takes a lot of balls to do that. I mean, the bottom line is if she breaks 2 dates with you, she's out. At that point, you just walk away. Even if she calls you or texts you, hey, how are you? What's going on? Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You talk for a few minutes. Well, hey, it was nice chatting with you again. I got to run. Keep in touch. And that's it. And you move on. If she says, oh, well, wait a minute. I wanted to see if when you were free this next week. The reason you don't bring it up is because she's already broken dates with you twice. And so the only way you're going to schedule a date is if she brings it up when you're talking about getting together. And if she brings it up, then it means that she actually has interest in getting together. But the key is, if she doesn't bring it up, you do not volunteer it to her. Why? Because if she brings it up, it means she has interest in seeing you. And if she doesn't have interest in seeing you, she's not going to break it up. I guarantee this is the case. So trust me on this. So that's the best way to handle it. So he says, I stopped trying to see her. I told myself if she really wants to see me, she will initiate the contact. Now you're talking. If she does, then I'll play my cards right and turn this situation around, despite the fact that she sometimes liked or commented on my Facebook posts. I didn't try to force the communication or to contact her. The best way to handle those things is just to respond to her. Act stupid. I mean, how would you be if you were dating 3 other hot women? You really wouldn't give a shit. I mean, plus this girl lives a couple hours away from you, or she lives, she's not in your city, so she's not close. I didn't try to force a communication or contact her. I've just been a cool friend for about 5 or 6 months now. On Valentine's Day, she texted me wishing me a happy Valentine's Day, and we exchanged a few texts just for a few minutes. And he says, since she said I forgot her. In other words, since you have stopped chasing her and pursuing her at all, she says you forgot about her. In other words, after this 5 months, she probably doesn't have anything else, or maybe doesn't have anything else going on in her life romantically. And it sounds like she's saying, well, I kind of miss you. But she's not coming right out and saying that, and she's not saying anything about getting together. So there's nothing to do. While I know exactly how and where to find her, hearing her blah, 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 I just shake my head and let that pass by. I told her I have come to her neighborhood several times, but never get to see her around. I was lying, of course. She was pissed off and said, please do me a favor. Next time you come around, shoot me a text. Hit me on Facebook or something. So I said, I might go there again next month. I'll hit you up. And she said, great. Now, I don't want to make any mistakes this time. Since I've read your book, I feel like I've grown up a little. I want to settle something nice and clean. I don't want to let her cancel our dates again. Well, the key is, if you don't want her to cancel your dates, then only make a date with her if, and that's a big if she actually brings up the two of you getting together and doing something. And if she does, tell her to come to your city. I mean, you've made several dates with her that she blew off. And this is the attitude you should have. Hey, you know what? If you really care about me and you really want to see me, then you'll come to my city. And if she says, well, why don't you come here? It just says, well, you know what? I've always come to you. And the last 3 or 4 times we made dates, you canceled them. So, I mean, quite frankly, my attitude is if you really mean what you say, then you'll come see me. And if you're not willing to come see me, then you're really not, it's not that big a deal. And I only want to spend time with you if you're like dying to see me. I mean, I like you, you're a cool girl, and I want to hang out. But if you're not like dying to see me and you're not willing to meet me halfway, or at least come, this time make up for the fact that you blew me off, come to my city. Because otherwise it's just, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in seeing you anymore, because I don't like the level of effort that you've made on your part. Do you think I should propose to pick her up so she doesn't play with me again? I haven't told her exactly yet. I will get there, meaning when he goes to her city. How soon before the day? He's talking about going to see her. I wouldn't do that at all. Like I said, if she brings up getting together, have her come to your city and meet you someplace in your city that's convenient for you. And if she's not willing to do that, blow her off. And another thing, stop taking what I'm teaching you in my book and doing nothing but trying to heat up leftovers with old girlfriends or chicks that blew you off because you screwed it up with in the past. The idea is to go out and meet some new women that you can have a fresh start with, so you can start doing everything right from the get-go, as opposed to trying to turn something around with a girl who you've done so many things wrong with in the past. The idea is to help you move forward here, and I think you're kind of stuck in the past because it's easy. It's easy to call up girls you have a relationship with or that you know from the past. But again, you have all this negative programming and all these negative things that have happened between you and them in the past, and it doesn't give you a clean slate. The idea is by using the stuff I teach in my book, you'll see, holy shit, this really works. And so you'll start doing everything right from the get-go. And if you do everything right from the get-go, you're not going to worry about these bullshit cancel dates or any of this flaky-ass behavior, because you deserve better. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located on the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, or there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, you can click the Contact Me tab, which is on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 3 or 4 paragraphs max detailing your situation, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet and I got to take care of the emails from my paying customers first. But be patient, I will get back with you. And if you'd like to talk to me right away, you can book a paid phone coaching session with me personally by clicking the Products tab, which is located at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.